Hello everybody, Bad Weather Freak here. I have another 2023 hurricane season update and some other details about other severe weather happening in the rest of the country. As of right now, you guys are looking at the May 8th. That's the latest sea surface temperature chart that was published. And as you guys can see, it is very warm. Basically, this whole area here is extremely warm right now. Just like the Enzo area, which is the Pacific area. The warming of this area here, basically, what it means is the El Nino. What I talked in other videos, the more that the temperatures are above average here, the warmer they are there, the more or the stronger the El Nino is. Now, one thing I wanted to do is let me zoom in this chart, because as you guys can see this area here. So all this area here basically is what they call the main development region, or MDR. And this is where the majority of the storms form, especially if we have a season where it's a season where storms, or they call long track storms, where they come off the coast of Africa and they head this way. Well, because the sea surface temperatures are kind of that warm, you will see some potential strong storms developing as they come off the coast of Africa. Now, one thing I wanted to zoom in is if you guys look at here, and there's a bit of a spot. Let me use my pen here, but a bit of a spot right there in near the Bahamas, Cuba. And to me that's a sign that if a storm's pass through that, it could rapid intensify, and that would be something that we need to keep an eye on as we progress it closer and closer towards the beginning of the season and eventually into the peak of the season. But overall, Gulf of Mexico is very warm. There's a little patch of blue right there, cooler temperatures. And then you have this big patch here, which is a classic. This, what you guys are seeing right now in the Atlantic, is a classic look for a very, very hurricane season. The question here will be is, how strong does El Nino get here? Because remember, the stronger the El Nino gets, it sends wind kind of going from west to east. And that's what is called wind shear. And as storms are coming this way, and then you have all this wind coming this way, it messes up with the storms, and it prevents from them to becoming really strong, or a lot of times they don't even form at all because conditions are not favorable, even though that the sea surface temperatures are so warm. So it all depends. Now the question, or the thing that I have here, the little hunch, that if you want to call it, as storms comes this way, if they miss the islands completely and they can stay in a generally westward track, and the further they get here, I feel like they can potentially fight off all that wind shear coming from the Pacific and potentially survive and become stronger. Now, during Hurricane Andrew, Hurricane Andrew kind of came like that and then just took a beeline towards Miami, or a little bit Homestead, I should say, a little bit further north of Miami. So it all depends. It all depends if the Bermuda high that is usually sits here, if it is really strong and is sitting lower, then it may actually create a scenario like that. Now, of course, Andrew was a one in a lifetime storm, if you want to call it. So we will have to keep an eye and see what happens. But let me go ahead and go back to the Storm Prediction Center. Kansas, you guys have an enhanced chance of seeing severe weather from, let's actually read here, so that way you have a pretty good information, pretty good idea. So basically what is happening is a corridor of severe thunderstorm is expected today across parts of Kansas, with embedded swath of capable of producing very large hail, damaging severe gusts, and a few brief tornadoes. Scattered damaging winds and isolated severe hail are also possible this afternoon into early evening across eastern North Carolina and southeast Virginia. And that's what this area that you're seeing here that is highlighted in yellow Here is Kansas and this big area, and you can see where for Kansas there's a bigger chance of seeing tornadoes and very large hail. Now let me go ahead and look at the radar. So courtesy of Tropical Tidbits, satellite imagery, and let's take a look at what is happening. Well, let's take a look at the Gulf of Mexico. You guys can see how in this area here there is a look like a low center, a lot of precipitation happening in Texas, northern Texas, and that will bring heavy rains, potential flooding, strong winds, etc. Let's go back and take a look at the east, the Atlantic in general. Again, is not that time of the year for storms to start forming, but let me zoom in here, and that is the system again that the Severe Weather Prediction Center is looking at that can produce tornadoes, very large hail, and you can see all that thunderstorm bursts that is happening over there, and that's why you guys, if you anybody from Kansas or that area, surrounding states are looking at this video, make sure you keep an eye on the weather and stay safe. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for you. Just a quick update regarding the 2023 hurricane season, what is happening in the tropics, and then severe weather happening in the central USA. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to share this video, comment, subscribe, and other than that, I'll see you guys on a different video.